It's time to stop searching for trading strategy and start building a system. The best strategy is not some magic indicator or something that you read on Twitter. It's what you make it. You are the one who can decide your own path to success. You have to be in control. And we're going to talk about this new feature from TradingView called the Journal. This is perfect for beginners, intermediate traders, advanced traders, everyone who wants to improve their trading. And we're also going to look at some entries from my journal. But first things first. What's the most important thing in trading? Most people will say making money. So let me ask you again. What's the most important thing in trading? To protect capital. If you don't protect your capital, then you're not going to make any money. It's as simple as that. Think of your trading account like a bucket of water. You start with an empty bucket and you put a hole in it. You keep pouring more and more water into that bucket, but it is just leaking out, and eventually the bucket is gone, now be empty, and you re-gone, now lose all of your money. If you do unpatch the hole, this is why you have to find a way to protect your capital. This is why you have to have rules. The goal is to build a system that will allow you to be profitable over a long period of time. But remember, no indicators, no strategies, no charts, no tweets are going to help you if you don't understand the basics. You have to know how to read a chart. You have to know how price works. You have to know how volume works. Then you have to understand the psychology of the market. One of the things that I tell people is that trading is really easy. There are only 3 possible outcomes on a trade. Either you win or you lose or you break even. If you think about it, there are only 3 possible outcomes. You just have to pick which side you want to be on. You just have to pick whether you want to go long or you want to go short, or maybe you want to sit out the trade. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. I recommend you always have your journal open right next to your charts. You can access it through TradingView or you can download the app on your phone. Now I have to mention this. This is not sponsored by I just use it because it's cool and it's easy to access and it syncs across all of my devices. So here's some examples from my journal. I write down the date, the instrument that I'm trading. So Bitcoin, I write down my analysis, my thought process. So I'll say high probability reversal direction. The price is more likely to move up than move down based on my analysis. Then I have a section where I say order entry trigger. This is when I actually entered the trade. If I didn't enter the trade, I write down no trade. If I went long, I'll say long. If I went short, I'll say short. Then I have my stop loss. So here I entered a long trade on Bitcoin. I had a stop loss at $39,000. I also have a section where I write down support and resistance levels, other areas of value, supply and demand zones, fair value gaps, Fibonacci levels, whatever you're using to help you make your decisions. Then I also have a section for my take profit. So I entered the trade here. I exited the trade here for a nice little profit. Then I have a section for comment. So this is where I can write down anything that's relevant. So I can write down the news, the event that happened while I was in the trade, anything that can help me reflect later on and see how the market was moving. So another trade here. I went short. I had a stop loss at $42,000. I exited the trade here for a small loss. Again, I have that comment section, so I can write down any relevant information, so I can look back later on and see what was happening in the world. Let's look at another example. Long trade, stop loss 38,500, take profit 41,500. In this case, I did not fully exit the trade. So I wrote down partial close. I closed some of my position for a profit, and the rest of it is still running. I also write down my risk to reward ratio on every single trade. It's very important to keep track of that. You can easily go to the settings of your journal and change the settings however you want. You can add different columns. For example, if you want to track the amount of contracts that you bought or sold, then you can easily add that column and then you can type in how many contracts you went long or short. So let's quickly look at another example. No trade. I didn't take the trade because the risk to reward ratio was not good enough based on my analysis. Journaling is so important because it helps you look back later on and reflect and see what you did right and what you can improve on. Some people might say, oh, that takes too much time. How am I supposed to journal every single day? How am I supposed to write everything down? Well, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to write a novel. You just have to write down the basics, the important stuff, the stuff that will help you improve. So here's what I recommend. When you're starting out, you can just copy the columns that I have. You can just use this template, and then as you improve, as you get better, you can start adding more columns. Maybe you want to track the amount of contracts that you bought or sold. Maybe you want to track the pip or percentage that you were risking on that trade. Maybe you want to track the amount of time that you spent in the trade. Maybe you want to track whether you were day trading or swing trading that setup. You can also add a rating, so you can rate your performance from 1 to 5 stars. So when you're looking back later on, you can see which days were your best days and which days were your worst days. So you can focus on improving those areas. If you have bad days, try to figure out why they were bad. Was it because you were breaking your own rules? Was it because you weren't following your plan? Was it because you were emotional? Or if you have good days, try to figure out why they were good. Was it because you followed your plan perfectly? Was it because you were calm and collected? Write down everything that's important. This is what separates the boys from the men. This is what separates the professional traders from the people who just dabble in trading and never actually take it seriously. You have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to journal. You have to be willing to reflect and improve. A lot of people treat trading like a hobby. They don't take it serious. They don't take it day by day. Remember, trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a lottery ticket. It's not a gamble. It's a skill that you develop over time. So if you want to become a successful trader, stop searching for indicators. Stop searching for magic bullets. Stop searching for secret indicators. Focus on building a system. Focus on improving your skills. Focus on journaling and reflecting on your trades. That's how you improve. That's how you get better. That's how you become a self-aware trader. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And remember, if you're new to this channel, we've got a free group where we share exclusive content.